Hello guys, we're just gonna wait a couple of minutes for everyone to see that we are live and ready to go. Say hi as you jump on. Tell me where you are tuning in from. Let me know if you can hear me well, if you can see me okay. Please. Yep. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Say hi as you jump on. Tell me where you are tuning in from and if you can hear me okay. I hope you are doing amazing today. So I'm just gonna share this on my page as well. We're just waiting a couple of minutes, guys. Say hi as you jump on and send me some hearts or drop your favorite emoji to let me know how you're feeling today. I hope you're feeling amazing. All right, a couple more minutes and then we will get started. Hey Roma, welcome. Cool, can everyone hear me okay? I've just shared that on my page because really this workshop is for everyone. I will make it super easy for everyone to understand and everyone should know those basics really. So don't hesitate to you know, share with any friends, family, colleagues that you would like to invite right now. What you can actually do, hey guys, thank you for coming in. Just say hi as you jump on and tell me if you can hear me well. So what you can do, if you're on your laptop, you can actually go on the right hand corner, I think, and there is a little next to the little button that is called invite friends to watch. You can actually invite them individually, and if they are not on Facebook or you know they are busy, it's fine. You will be able to share this post once we're done, and that will be the replay that they can watch. Also, as I mentioned in my post, only those who actually registered on Eventbrite, that's the link that I put in my Facebook events and that I share in my emails, only those people will be sent my brand new ebook, the 10 Secrets to Super Health and Immune Powers. You don't want to miss that. And also they will have a surprise bonus. So if you want it and you've not done so already, just go to the Eventbrite link. I'm not sure you can still access it actually because we've officially started the workshop. But if you want it, just drop ebook below in the comments and I will just, you know, reach out to you and send it to you. Say hi as you jump on, guys, and drop your favorite emoji to tell me how you're feeling today. So let's start. Welcome everyone, welcome to Digesting Well to Boost Your Immune System workshop. It's actually the second of a series. I did my first online workshop, the first ever, last Sunday. Thank you for all the people that have attended and watched the replay. For those who don't know me, I'm Audrey, a nutrition and wellness coach. And I'm also qualified in NLP, timeline therapy, kinesiology, sports massage, and a number of other things which really I use as complement to help my clients as needed. And what I was going to say is that means that I have a very holistic approach. But that was not always the case. I actually worked in banking for about 10 years, in investment banking in Paris and then in London. And in 2012, I decided to change career for obvious reasons that you can imagine. I won't detail that here, but I was really ready for a new, you know, a new adventure in my life. And so I went back to school, literally, and I set up my health clinic from scratch in London at the time. I stayed in London for about 10 years. I met my partner there, who's now French, and we decided in 2018 to actually go live in Asia for a year and a half. And we came back. I mean, we came back to Europe about 6 months ago, and we arrived in France. So yeah, that's it. What about you guys? Where are you tuning in from? I can see Mike, so that's France. I think Romain is still here, that's France. Mina from Kuala Lumpur. So yeah, let me know if there is anyone else from Asia here or from London. Share in the comments. I always love to know. Cool. So let's get started. As I said last Sunday, let's hydrate ourselves, you know, throughout the workshop. It's actually, and throughout the rest of the day, we are water at 70%. So it really makes sense that actually one of the first things that we do to improve our health is to actually drink more clean water. Therefore, please go for filtered water. Like this is Kangen water that I have here, which is antioxidant actually, super hydrating and alkalizing. So, and I use this machine that I showed very briefly last week. But if you do not have any kind of like good quality water filter at home, like really think about it, because of what I've just said. If you know, you can go actually on my website 𝗥𝗚𝘚𝑡herapy.co.uk to in the shop section to see the ones that I recommend. Anyhow, you know, any questions, please come back to me. If you're obviously at the moment, you know, for those who are struggling financially, it's fine. Just, you know, put it on your priority list for when you can. But if you are serious about your health, then clean water is really a priority. So forget about the tap water. Sorry for those who think that their tap water is really good. Don't be fooled. Cool. So here is what we'll learn today. So basically what you will learn is the simple things that you can do to improve your digestion right after the workshop, literally. And in turn, that will boost your immunity. But more, and you know, here my intention is to share ways that you can actually take charge of your health, that you can become more aware of certain things, even the simple things. The main thing is really to get started and, you know, for you to take charge of your health, but also protect, you know, your family a version throughout the year so that it's actually ready to defend you and fight when things present themselves, not just, you know, when you have a flu or something. I will keep this workshop really jargon-free, you know, interactive and practical and super easy to understand. So it's open to everyone. But more specifically, what you will learn is why actually digesting well, and we'll explain what that means. Digesting well is supporting your immune system. What are actually some of the signs and symptoms of digestive issues? Because some people think that they don't, but actually they have some. And even if you don't have any, really, it's worth, given that digestive health and immune health are like almost, you know, are kind of like very strongly linked, it makes sense that you still make it a priority, you know, even to optimize your digestive health. And we'll cover also, well, okay, that's all well and good, but what to do about it and how to get started. We will also briefly identify the gaps between where you're at and everything that I would have said, basically, and how, and then finally, how, like, what's the mini plan that you can put in place? What are the simple and practical steps that you can start taking right after the workshop, right? We'll make it very practical. Sundays, most shops are closed. You know, here clearly, well, in France, it's kind of very quiet on Sundays anyway, but certainly during the lockdown, it is even more. So you won't be able to go out and, you know, and get some stuff. So we'll make it very practical. I have a little bit of an announcement before we... Hey guys, thank you for jumping on. Say hi, let me know if you can hear me well, please. And tell me where you are tuning in from, send me some hearts. Thank you for attending. So a bit of an announcement. So thank you so much for those who booked free 30-minute consultations that I've said I would offer until the 15th of April. I'm still running it, but I only have a few slots left. So if you want to get it, if you want to get in before the 15th, just send me a message right now, or after the workshop, and then you know, for you to have a chance to get in, because I won't be able to sustain that for too long. So why digesting well supports your immune system? Does anyone know why it's good to actually support your digestion, to in turn boost your immune system? Does anyone know? Share in the comments below. You know, in other words, what's the link between your immune system and your immune between the link between your digestive system, aka your gut health, your tummy health, and your immune system? Anyone knows? Anyone knows here? What's the link? I'm sure you have an idea. There is no silly answers. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for jumping on, guys. Anyone knows? All right then, I will let you know then. So did you know that about 85% of your immunity to germs and disease is actually in your digestive system, aka your tummy? Your immune system is really the most powerful weapon that you can ever have to defend yourself against anything nasty, against, you know, really against disease, not just viruses and bacteria and all that jazz. So I will actually give you, because I want to make it very accessible to everyone, I will actually give you the example of the army. So think of your, what I mean is, think of your immune system as your internal army. So you want your army to be strong and ready to fight, you know, armed properly and ready to fight if they are invaders or non-invited, potentially pathogenic, you know, visitors right? You want your army to be ready to defend yourself. Well, in your tummy, basically, you have the immune system, the good soldiers, the good guys, the good bacteria, and you have, anything nasty that we've described earlier, let's say, viruses, bacteria, fungus, that are the bad guys. Now, we'll discuss later, we actually need both. So it's not like we need to kill all the bad guys, we need both for the right balance. This is the difference between your internal army and a real army. So again, to stay on that example, so people making up your internal and people making up the army, they have different roles, right? Some will go on the front line. They will be the first line of defense. Others will go ahead later, the Air Force, whatever. Others will lead those soldiers. But basically, they all form your army. Well, in your immune system, you have white blood cells, and they all have a different role. So depending on what's going on, what type of attack is going on, they will act differently. One thing to compare, a normal army with your internal army, like, in the army, whether it's actually, as part of a government or to defend a leader, do they think that they actually, like, just chill the rest of the year when there is no conflict, when it's a little bit more peaceful? Do you think they spend their time drinking and not training and sleeping and all of that? No, like, all year long, they make sure that although there might be periods less intense, they are still, ready to fight for you, that they are still, investing in their equipment and all of that. Well, that's the same for your immune system, but you need support, you need to help your immune system a little bit every single day so that it's ready to go. And maybe needs just like extra support when there is something nasty, coming along, or when you feel a little bit more run down. So that's the same for your immune system, really. It's a daily investment. The gut, so your tummy, the digestive system, gets beaten up throughout the year, or year after years, actually. For some people by stress, antibiotics. We don't think about that, but even when you were little, you probably had antibiotics, you did not know that was the case. Medicines, lack of sleep, and other forms of stress. Obviously, poor dietary and drink choices will actually influence that. The only difference with a real army and your internal army is that, as I said earlier, we actually need a balance of good and bad guys, and that's the right balance that we are aiming to achieve. Obviously, most of the time we lack good guys, and that's what we are going to cover today. Who are those good guys? How can we get more of them, and make sure the army is strong? So thank you for jumping on, guys. Please say hi, send me some hearts, tell me if you can hear me well, and where you are tuning in from, who is from. I can see we have Bangkok, we have France. Please let me know how you're doing today. Cool. So next, we won't stay long on that, but I think it's important for some people to know, okay, what are actually the signs and the symptoms of digestive issues? So, and I'm sure you will recognize a few. So bloating is one. Who has experienced bloating before? Who has ever experienced bloating? Which is basically your tummy like looking like, you're almost pregnant, or kind of like, sometimes it feels hard, and that can come at different times of the day. Who here has experienced bloating? Let me know in the comments. Hey Sylvie, welcome. welcome. Do you like Sylvie? Tell me where you are tuning in from, if you can hear me well. Thank you for jumping on. So basically we have bloating. Nobody has experienced bloating here? Come on guys, let me know in the comments. I definitely have in some not now because I know what to do about it, but before certainly. We have also another sign is constipation. Lots of people literally are constipated, and to some extent they've been tolerating it for a little while. You feel really like crap, but some people tolerate it for a while, and to some extent it becomes part of their life. But actually, and I covered that in last Sunday workshop, we actually need to go to the loo about twice a day, guys, for for poo. So constipation is a sign and symptom. Who has experienced constipation before? Definitely me. Again, when I was in banking, when I did not know how to actually take care of myself and make sure that I was not disturbed on that front. Anyone, like nobody has ever had constipation here? You're very shy. So either you're on, but you're actually not watching and participating. Oh, Sylvie, thank you so much. Oh yeah, with your daughter. Yeah. How old is your daughter, Sylvie? Is she very young? Cool. So diarrhea is another one. Bleeding, heartburn. There are a few more, actually weight gain or weight loss could be a sign and symptom. Hey Alisa, thank you for jumping on. A big hi from Australia. So heartburn is actually one. Nausea, vomiting, swallowing problems. Now, some of you might know some of the more serious stuff or more annoying stuff, because some of them are actually not that difficult to improve if we really tackle it. But the most common digestive disease that can cause some of the symptoms that I just mentioned. Hey guys, very nice of you to jump on. Say where you are tuning in from. Send me some hearts in the comments. So intestinal problems such as IBS, celiac disease, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, what else? Polyps, IBS, I said, it's a big one. Diverticulitis, malabsorption, which is very annoying as well. Stomach problems, gastritis, gallstones, and so on, rectal problems. There are quite a few, but all of this, hemorrhoids, obviously that can actually come on, if we've had constipation problem for a while, liver problems, pancreatitis, and a few more. But even if you have no obvious tummy, I would say it's really worth, digestive health is really vital, so it's really worth you doing the extra effort. Plus you will get super, immune powers. So that's kind of really cool. So what to do about it? Now you're like, okay, when is she actually gonna tell us what we need to do, and how can we actually improve our digestion to in turn boost our immunity? I'm getting there. So the first step is actually to eat and drink the right foods, right? I mean, it's on a daily basis, and eliminate or reduce some of the foods and the drinks that are basically weakening your immune system. But also, and that will be part of another workshop, is the other parts that people are not necessarily aware, but obviously stress, directly suppress your immune system. Different forms of stress, whether we are conscious of it or not, antibiotics, medicines, but that will be part of a different workshop. So You know, last week we covered the foods and the drinks that are basically good and bad for your immune system. So go back and watch that, watch the replay if you want to know more about that. So, you know, I won't repeat that bit, but I will zoom in on the foods, the fermented foods, you know, the happy tummy foods that are actually helpful for repopulating and feeding that new population of good bacteria. So basically you have, so what we'll discuss, sorry, I get disturbed by some messages on my mobile. So, we'll start by chatting about probiotics. Does anyone know what probiotics is? What are probiotics? What type of foods is it? Can we find them in supplements? What do you know about probiotics? Let me know in the comments. Are they the good guys, the bad guys? I'm just trying to confuse you so you can actually let me know in the comments. What are probiotics? Does anyone know? There is no wrong or silly answers. Let me know if you have any clue. So basically probiotics are the good soldiers. They are the ones that repopulate you know, the good bacteria. They are also called fermented foods, probiotic foods. You can find probiotics in the form of supplements, and that's not what I will cover today. I really, you know, food first in any event. Obviously, in some cases, you need so much of them in a certain period of time that you better go to supplements. But be careful, they are very expensive, and lots of them actually not. The research, you know, is not necessarily there. You don't actually know if that works. I mean, obviously you can try and see if you feel any difference, but there are certain brands that are way better than others. So contact me if you need any, and I can guide you there. But again, we won't, you know, go into the supplement side of things. We'll stay on, you know, what it is that you can actually find easily within the next few days, maybe in terms of probiotic foods. And then, so we'll discuss about the prebiotics that are the food to feed those good soldiers. It's basically the food to feed the soldiers. They are called prebiotics, and I bet that you have actually some prebiotic foods right now at home in your fridge. So we'll go in your fridge a bit later on. I will show you mine. Cool. So I recommend building up to about 2 servings of probiotic foods a day, and you can find them if you're not as lazy as me. Actually make some yourself at home. Some of them require some material, so I doubt that you will be able to get some of the material at the moment, at least in France. You know, given the rules of the lockdown, those kind of shops might be closed. But in the health shop, guys, from, you know, Monday onwards, you can definitely go and see what you can find. So you have, so we are gonna enumerate them. So you have kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, kefir, kombucha, anything that you know, the cultured dairy. So basically live yogurt and a few more. So who knows what is kimchi? I know that kimchi is actually one of my favorites. It's full, like really full of nutrients, including vitamin C. It's basically fermented cabbage with some spices, chili, carrots, ginger, and other fermented veggies. You can also have a non-spicy version of the kimchi, which is basically, you will find in health shops, you will see, you know, fermented veggies. So this is in the fridge section, you will find those guys. Sauerkraut is also really good. It's super high in vitamin C. Again, we covered that last week. And miso, so miso soup, you know, miso in like as a bouillon, you know, paste, stock. You can add that to soups or stews. And now I'm actually going to show you my fridge to show you what kind of probiotics I have in my fridge. So I'm going to turn this. All right, so we're in the fridge now. I'm going to start by one, almost my favorite, really, probiotic drinks. Is called kombucha. For those who don't know, it's basically fermented green tea. And some of them have obviously some flavors. You have the natural ones, but this one is pomegranate, so grenade in French. So let's look at actually, so it's very fizzy, guys. So I actually recommend this to my clients for, you know, people who want to reduce drinking, like use that for aperitif because it's super festive. It's bubbly, it's like, you know, sweet sparkling water, let's say, but that actually is good for your health, for your immune system, and the taste is really good. So look at, hey La, yeah, kombucha, I know you love kombucha. So let's look, I hope you can see, guys, let's look at what's in there. Can you see? So I hope you can see, but I'm going to read because a bit is in French. So what we have in there, as you can see, this one is actually really clean. So this brand Karma, I recommend. There are others that are great though. So this one, almost 98% of green tea, thé vert, and they use filtered water. So that's great. And then the rest, so about 2.5. Basically, it's mainly, as you can see, you know, fresh pomegranate juice, fresh ginger juice, a little bit of a kind of hibiscus herbal tea in there. And there is a little bit of sugar, of course, but it's, you know, transformed during the fermentation. So this one is really clean. So you will find that. So you will see it says, because I keep moving, so I guess it cannot see. Okay, pasteurized. Okay, so basically when you go into those health shops, all the unpasteurized words, live bacteria, live yogurt, fermented, all of this means that they bring you some good bacteria. Okay, so that's one that I really love. What else have we got here? So again, there is a bit in French, but you can see here fermenté, which is basically fermented. So this one is actually pretty good, this brand that I can find here, but in any country, guys, you will be able to find some fermented foods. So yeah, so this one is fermented yogurt, like dairy-free, so almond-based. You have here, which this one is really good actually, it's organic fermented tofu, and you cut it in like small pieces, and that's kind of, you know, replace your meat basically. Here we have tempeh. I'm a big fan of tempeh. I do it, I cut it in slices, and literally I grill them with some pink Himalayan salt and some coconut oil. Very simple, and it's super quick. If you don't, you know, like to spend hours in the kitchen like me, then they are great. This one is really good. So again, you know, it's in French, but you will see some keywords, you know, like fermented kefir. So you have different forms of, you know, kefir. This one is in yogurt because sometimes it's like liquid yogurt type form, and I really don't like it. This one is super yummy. You can find that very easily in France, for example, but in London or in even in Bangkok or else, you will find different brands. So that's about what I have at the moment in my fridge. I'm gonna come back here. Cool. Do you guys have fermented foods at home right now? And did you know what it was? Let me know in the comments. Which one is your favorite? I know that my partner really loves kombucha. yeah, as I was saying, I really love kombucha as a actually replacement even for people who are addicted to fizzy drinks, or you know, who want to have like an energy booster throughout the day, but something that is fresh and sparkly. Yeah, I think we covered live yogurt, so basically dairy. I forgot to show you, but on the kefir, actually it's goat yogurt, kefir, and it was showing like full fat. Please don't get like 0% and kind of like low low fat type yogurt and stuff, because they replace actually the fat by some more milk sugar. And as I was saying, you know, last Sunday, what you want to do to support your immune system really is to reduce the amount of sugar that you have in your diet. At least, you know, not too much sugar. And lactose is what? Milk sugar. So buy full fat. You know, there is lots of goddess actually goodness in full fat. So go for that. Yeah, I covered that. Fermented soya bean, so basically tofu or tempeh. Make sure it's organic. So for tofu, definitely. And tempeh is I usually advise tempeh as opposed to tofu. But so let's talk about prebiotics. Prebiotics are, let me know in the comments. Prebiotics, what are they good for? What are prebiotics? I covered that just earlier. And do you know any examples of prebiotics? So I'm gonna give you, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the banana bread recipe that I shared this week. It uses banana, but actually I suggest that you use, give me 1 second. I suggest that you use, well, actually it's not that green anymore. God, it does go very fast. Yesterday or the day before it was green banana. So green bananas are really good, really full of fibers, which is great for people who have you know, IBS or constipation. It's loaded with potassium, so it really helps regulating blood pressure. And it's just like a powerhouse, a nutrients powerhouse. But to absorb the nutrient better, it needs to be cooked. Therefore, I usually advise you that you get actually your banana green, because it goes very fast. I mean, this was like yesterday or the day before, it was literally green. Now it's not so green anymore. For better absorption, they need to be cooked. So use that in baking, you know. Go and see the recipe that I shared this week if you've not tried. Lots of people have tried and tagged me in their stories and stuff, and they really liked it. So and that was inspired from Rebecca. I don't know if Rebecca is watching, but this recipe was definitely inspired from Rebecca, someone who does CrossFit with me, here in Aix-en-Provence. So share in the comments if you've tried the recipe, guys. What we have, oats, which again I shared last week. So oats is the second example here of prebiotics. So it basically, it's food for you good bacteria. So you need to have a little bit every day as well. So you will need to, you know, obviously soak them as you would do for like overnight oats, or I personally have hot porridge a few times a week. So then obviously they are soaked because when they are soaked, they release their goodness, right? So that's what you want. You also have, oh, I forgot to show you in the fridge, but artichokes, Jerusalem artichokes are actually some of the vegetables that are, reminder to drink, guys. My throat is getting dry. We also have onions, garlic, what else? Asparagus. We have beans. I know that some people can't handle beans very well. It often, well, it can come from, you know, maybe you don't have enough digestive enzymes. Maybe you need to, we'll cover that a little bit later. Maybe you need to help your body a little bit, you know, to digest, you know, to help your body on that front. You can also, what I do, I personally am too lazy to cook beans. I will come on to that at some point, but to cook some of the, you know, the what we call the legumes, so lentils, beans, even other things like, you know, quinoa, things like this. I sometimes actually soak them in apple cider vinegar. Sometimes just a few hours, if it's lentils, things like that, like literally overnight. Because the plant has anti-nutrient that it produces to defend itself, and that is what causes in some people, you know, some flatulence and, you know, very interesting digestive discomfort of that kind. So if you actually put a little bit of apple cider vinegar, ideally it needs to be raw, organic and unpasteurized, and have, I don't know if you can see here, you can see this little disgusting, you know, cloudy thing at the bottom. This is actually what you want. This is what will help you. Oh, yeah, you have that big one here. So this is good. This is what you want. This is called the mother. And this is what is going to help you activate the digestive enzymes, which we'll cover, but also help you to digest the food better. So obviously, if you soak, for example, your lentils overnight and stuff, the day after you come out, you know, and you rinse them well, and then you can cook them. Anyway, I derived there a little bit. So we were talking of beans, also chicory, endives in English, but also one. Another superstar, which is not actually prebiotics or probiotics, but is really, this is something that you can do now during the lockdown. I mean, literally all you need is a butcher that is open. You go and get, well, I'm going to tell you what this is first. This is a bone broth. I'm sure lots of people have heard of bone broth. It's something that sometimes I'm actually a little bit lazy to do, I have to say. I will do more of that. For those who don't know me, I don't cook that much. So I'm not going to be the one spending hours in the kitchen. That's not my thing. I love it. I find it very therapeutic and all of that, and I admire people who do. But I, you know, at this point, I prioritize other things. But I'm going to tackle bone broth because it's really a gut healing superstar. It's basically like a chicken soup. It was used, I mean, our ancestors, they were using bone broth and probiotics like they were drinking water, you know. That was really part of the day-to-day. And that was, they were using every single part of the animal so that they could not eat, right? So, you know, bones, ligaments, the skin, the tendons, all of that, they were boiling it and then leaving it to simmer over a few days. Hey guys, welcome. Say hi as you jump on. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Welcome. And as it simmer, it actually release, you know, all the goddess. It actually release healing compounds. Those healing compounds, they are like proline, glycine, glutamine, and collagen. So by the way, the latter is really good for skin and cellulite girls. So another good reason to get bone broth. And yes, you can drink it every day, and yes, you can drink quite a bit every single day. So a bone broth has actually been shown to seal and heal the gut. So basically, if you imagine that your tummy is like a bubble, let's say, or a balloon, or, you know, a kind of a sack. a bag. And the walls, you know, the outer side of the bag, in some people, they are little holes. And this is what we call leaky gut, or intestinal permeability. It's basically when, you know, over years, because of stress, poor diet, alcohols to some extent, you know, antibiotics, medicines and stuff, then it creates like little holes, and some stuff that are not supposed to come in actually come in. So usually it's pretty nasty, or some stuff that are not supposed to go out actually go out in the bloodstream, and they start to create low-grade inflammation and a certain number of symptoms that will actually, for some people, they don't actually have much digestive symptoms, but they will have other things going on, you know, the skin stuff flaring up, or they will have inflammation in the joints. So basically, I won't go into too much details on that, but so the bone broth, for example, you know, glutamine is a key nutrient to actually seal, so like filling those little holes and make sure that everything is working properly, and basically, yeah, supports, you know, really help the immune system do its job. So, and also it's super cheap and super easy to absorb. So basically all you need to do is to find a butcher and get the carcass, right? And then there is actually, there is a recipe in my free ebook. So again, as I was saying earlier, because there are some people that joined now, if you want to get my latest free ebook, the 10 Secrets of Super Health and Immune Power, then drop ebook in the comment, and then I will know that I need to reach out to you and send it to you. But you will have recipes in there, like immune boosting recipes, including the bone broth recipe. Foods that are good to support your gut. I won't go into too much details, and also some of them you might not be able to find them, such as, you know, sprouted seeds, so sprouted chia seeds, sprouted flax seeds and hemp seeds. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, if you get, as long as you keep them in the fridge, remember my workout, my workshop from last Sunday, I showed you all my seeds and nuts are in the fridge. They oxidize otherwise, so keep them in a glass jar in the fridge. You know, they are in the dark, cold. But even if you don't get them sprouted, they are very good for your immune system. They're full of fibers and omega-3 that are actually gut supporting foods, essential omega-3 fatty acids. Obviously, herbs and spices, you know, really support your digestion. For me, my champion is if you were on my workshop last week, you will know what this is. This is ginger. I have like literally tons of ginger behind me. This is, and it can be used for, hey Sylvie, yeah, ebook, okay, noted. I'll come back to you on that. And by the way, those who were on the workshop last Sunday, if you've not received your ebook, it is probably normal because I've actually revisited it, and this is the brand new one. So bear with me, it will come at some point this week, okay? And the surprise bonus as well. So yeah, ginger really great, anti-inflammatory, anti almost everything. And coconut products are also great. Coconut, I only cook with coconut oil, sometimes with olive oil, but yeah, coconut oil is great, and it's actually antiviral, antibacterial, and plenty of other things, antifungal. You can have like coconut yogurts are also great. They do some coconut kefir yogurt that, well, I mean, some brands are great, some brands are not so tasty. So enough talking about food, and oh my god, I'm a little bit late. But we are coming to the end. So enough talked about food. Let's talk about how you eat, how much, and when. So one thing very basic, but is really to help to digest better, therefore to absorb better, therefore for your body to have the nutrients that it needs. Chew your food. That is one of the first things that you can do to actually improve your digestion. Chew your food. So what does that mean? So I'm going to give you 3 kind of I guess tips, ways to measure that you're actually chewing your food. First is like chew, count 25 times in your head. Obviously, if you are eating broccoli and if you are eating, a piece of beef, that won't be the same thing. Broccoli, you don't need to chew 25 times because it will literally melt, right, after a while. But meat specifically, really make sure that you chew really well. Otherwise, it's super hard on your digestive system. It's a hard job. Another way to remember is that your stomach has no teeth, so chew until it becomes liquid. Literally, that's another way to remind yourself. Or when you put, I'm going to use the banana as the fork. When you put food in your mouth, literally put your fork down. Finish eating everything that you have, chew well, and only when you're done, you put, another fork in your mouth. That's one way to remember. Another thing that I suggest, again, is quite basic stuff, right? So, and if you have anything specific that you would like to discuss about, then just book a free session with me, and then we can maybe cover that. Or discuss anything specific that you have maybe going on. But I would say avoid snacking too much. It means that your digestive system does not have a rest, always on and on and on. And actually, if you want to, manage your weight, you better not do that anyway. But like 3 balanced meals a day is really great. So like every, let's say 4 hours or something. And then you can have a snack in the afternoon. Personally, I have a snack in the afternoon to kind of make the gap between the lunch and the dinner. And for some people, it really helps them not to, before dinner or like at random time, in the afternoon, to jump on some crap. So that's what I do. Avoid, another thing is, I know we've been talking about water, and I usually advise about like 3-4 liters of water a day, especially at the moment that we are more sedentary and we need to make sure we keep, the trips to the loo, going. But avoid to drink during meal times, guys, and actually avoid to drink 20 minutes before meal and up to 40 minutes after meal. So that window, avoid drinking or just a little sip, especially if you have to take supplements, then it's fine, but not too much, because it really fuck up, the digestion. It really disturbs, it dilutes the digestive enzymes, it disturbs the digestion, and that's not what you want. So you have the whole rest of the day to actually get your water in. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, but don't, like, if you have a feast, if you have a big meal, that's obviously going to be harder on your digestive system to digest. Like warm and cooked food are usually easier to digest, like soups and, like we discussed about the bone broth. But actually raw foods are not that. I'm speeding up a little bit because I'm a tiny bit behind. Raw foods are actually not that easy to digest, although they are full of, water-soluble vitamin C, like which is key for your immune system. But then equally, if you don't digest it well, so you're not going to get the benefit of it. So it's kind of like, find your right balance there. Another thing that I really encourage you to do is do a little bit of basic fasting, which is basically try and have a window of 12-hour fasting overnight, to help you, to give your a rest to your gut. So have an early dinner and then breakfast as late as you can. And actually with, you know, hopefully about 8 hours of sleep, then, you know, between the time that you have dinner and the time you have breakfast, I mean, the 12 hours, they are flying. So it's usually pretty easy to put in place. This form of fasting is it's pretty basic and easy to put in place. It's actually called time restricted eating, and so this is the first stage, right? Like 12 hours. Then if you are a little bit more advanced, without talking about fancy fasting or anything, but you can go to 16 hours and then there is the stage above. Anyone interested, I can send more information, or actually I could do a post about it within the next few days. But bear in mind that, you know, is that a good time to have a detox or to have, or, you know, to fast? I would say if you've never done it, no, I don't think it is a good idea, because if you've never done it, it can be quite aggressive for some, you know, people. It can add some stress to probably already a stressed environment, whether you are conscious of it or not. So I would say no. However, a nice kind of like 12 hours fasting overnight, I definitely think that is a good idea, because your digestive system gets a rest. So if you anyone gets bloated sometimes, have a tummy like they are pregnant, or have you know, flatulence, acid reflux, I'm sure nobody is going to put their hand up if they have flatulence on the Facebook Live anyway. But so you have a couple of options to improve that. The easiest that you can find very like almost everywhere, definitely health shop, and pretty easily to find at the moment if you don't have at home, is what I was showing earlier, is the apple cider vinegar. So again, I covered that earlier, what type of apple cider vinegar you need to get. But so if you get like a tablespoon with a little bit of water 20 minutes before meal, then that can, it will basically stimulate the digestive enzymes. So imagine that the digestive enzymes are here, and then the food comes down. So that's your tummy. Digestive enzymes are like, woohoo! You know, they really like, they get ready and, you know, to break down your food. That's what they are doing, right? Really digest it into smaller pieces. So 20 minutes before meal. Let's say, like, you know, start with dinner, and then if you can lunch, I always forget, so daily, you know, it's natural, no miracle, right? So don't expect it to have miraculous results if you do it over like 2 days. Again, this is something that you need to keep doing, see if that works. If you can't be bothered with that, with the apple cider vinegar, and actually, yeah, so you have this that actually take at the moment, you can rotate, right, between the three things that I'm going to say. I actually take this at the moment. For those who are based in France, you can find it pretty easily, or find another form. It's digestive enzymes in the form of a supplement, which we take again before meal. Some brands, you take it, actually you can take it with the food. This one contains obviously the three digestive, you know, the digestive enzymes that help to break down the fat, the carbs, and you know, the protein. So protease, there is some lipase, amylase, and so on and so on. I won't detail everything, but and there is a little bit of probiotics, so that can be used to improve your some of the digestive discomfort you might have. Or you can also use bitter herbs, so you can have them in a liquid form in health shop, or like supplements shop online. Or you can, that might work if you use some actually foods that are bitter about 20 minutes before a meal. So to give you an example, arugula, and then you put a little bit of lemon on top, see if that works. So that is it for that bit. So we'll finish off with, I want you to, if it's not already done, go and get a piece of paper, and because now we are going to identify the gaps between your current nutrition and you know, what are the things that you do for your digestion, or that you do as part of your, you know, nutrition, and all the things that I've said. If you really want to improve your digestion, then make a list of you know, the things that you feel like, oh yeah, I'm not doing that, that could be cool, I can add that on, or the things that you are not doing consistently, but you know they are actually, you know, you've noticed that they help. So put that down on the list. So I'll give you a couple of minutes. Take 5 minutes, yeah, to make a list of that, and then we'll pick 2 things that you can easily put in place today. Is everyone done? So yeah, once you're done, let me know in the comments. If there is anyone who would like to share an example of what they have on their list, that would be amazing. Anything, guys, that you would like to share, that you would like to try today, share in the comments below. It could be have more ginger, you know, stop like chew food, better, more. It could be, oh yeah, I'm gonna try the, you know, the 12 hours fast overnight, or actually, you know, get closer to it, and then decide that, like, for example, by Wednesday you do that. So nobody wants to share, okay, that's fine. So we are actually gonna wrap this up with the last phase of this workshop, which is you know, the kind of the practical step of what you can start today, like literally right after the workshop. So the shops might be closed again, but so you might not be able to get to buy some of the stuff that we discussed. So think about what is it that you can easily do today, and I would suggest that perhaps it will be good for some people who are not already doing it, so we would have like chewing the food, as I said, you know, a bit more. The fasting window could be an easy one to put in place today. I don't know what you think, guys. Let me know in the comments. You can check if you have prebiotics foods in your cupboards, in your fridge. So we discussed about, you know, the green banana, the oats and all of that. Just check your notes, or review the you know, this replay if you need to remember what are the type of prebiotics. And that could be also avoiding water during meal times, or like, you know, remember the window 20 minutes before, 40 minutes after. And yeah, literally you pick 2 things, or at least one thing, and you put it in place today. You stick to it every single day until it becomes like a habit, and only then you start to, you know, you move on to the next item on your list, and you do the same. Habits take some time to really be embodied, right? So okay, guys, we are done for today. And in case you missed what I said a bit earlier, because some people have joined halfway, if you would like my brand new ebook, 10 secrets to super health and immune powers, and a surprise bonus, then it's too late for you to register on the Eventbrite link, which was the way that I could send it to you. So just drop ebook in the comments, and I will know that I need to reach out to you about it. You can share obviously with friends and family as well. And remember, I only have a very few slots left until the 15th of April. If you would like to have a free 30 minutes consultation with me, I do that for, you know, this is my gift to you during the lockdown. So message me right now if you are interested before the window closes. And if you like today's workshop, if you found it helpful, just share it and help me make an impact in people's life. I wish you an amazing day. Lots of love.